Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Chainlink and essentially its path to the Sea of Tranquility. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. Also, do check out the Telegram channel that you can find a link to in the description below, and you can also see it up here. It's always nice to see more Link Marines in the Telegram chat. We have like 5,300 people in this chat room. So if you're looking for a chat room, this is the one that I moderate. And let's go ahead and jump in, right? So you guys know the drill, right? We've been preparing for this for a long time. What do we call it? We call it business as usual. We know that Link historically, as we have shown well before this move here, we showed that it tends to move when Bitcoin is above its 20-week moving average. This is when Link tends to go parabolic, right? So you can see this parabolic move here from around 20 cents up to between $1 and $2. This one here from around 40 cents up to $3 or $4. This one was short-lived, right, because of the Bitcoin crash in March, and then now we've rejuvenated, and you see yet another move up, right on cue, right? I mean, we know that when Bitcoin is below the 20-week, which is highlighted in yellow, Link against USD doesn't really do a whole lot. Maybe it goes down and then up, or up and then down, down and then up. But more or less, it's around the same level as it was when Bitcoin transitioned from being above to below, and then from below back to being above. There's not a whole lot that happens during that time. So the thing that could be different now, right, is that as we've made many videos before on Link in regards to this, is that Link has never experienced a cryptocurrency bull market. Link has experienced a bull market because, this to me is like the definition of a bull market, right? It just mainly goes up, right? Link has experienced a bull market basically since inception. Of course, there's been a few modest 70 to 80% corrections on the way, but it didn't take that long for it to, reclaim its prior all-time high from 2018, whereas with most other projects, they're still 80, 90% down from their prior all-time highs. So this is a significant, notation on Link that we've made, and we've assessed the in terms of modern portfolio theory, we've assessed the fact that having Link in your portfolio is really good for maximizing your risk-adjusted returns, both in terms of the Sharpe and Sortino ratios. We've looked at that before, and the idea of not holding Link is very risky. Now, buying it at these levels is incredibly risky, right? I can assure you that I'm not buying Link at these levels. But at the same time, it's still fascinating, with a position in Link. It's still fascinating to see how high it can actually go. Because again, Link has never experienced a crypto bull market. It's never experienced a Bitcoin bull market. It just came in at the tail end of the last one. So if Bitcoin doesn't go below its 20-week, which mind you is currently at around $9,000 or just north of $9,000, if Bitcoin doesn't go below its 20-week, then this is going to stay shaded red. Now, with that said, things aren't just going to go up monotonically forever. It's not quite monotonic at this point, but it looks close to being a monotonic increase, which means that it just continues to go up every day. This is daily data. Of course, there are some retracements in here, but for the most part, it seems like it's just trending upwards. So we know at some point there will be a correction, and you can look at past cycles to identify these corrections. And when that correction comes, it's probably going to trap some people at the top. But again, even if it does come, it's still probably over the next several years if the crypto market really gears up for liftoff, right, so to speak, over the next several years. Then this could just be the beginning stages, right? And we made a video not too long ago about a path of Link to get to $100, right? And I think at the time it was only like $10 or less than that. And then we also talked about $100 Link back when it was like $3, I think. And the closer you get to that point, then people start to shift their gears, and it's no longer, well, now it's not. Now they're not saying that $100 is or they used to say it was impossible to get to $100. Now they're saying it's inevitable before we get to $1,000. Where I'm on the other end of the spectrum. Now I'm saying, oh, hold up on the $1,000. Let's focus on $100 first. So we'll see what happens. I would anticipate at some point. Again, it's anyone's guess as to where that would be, but I would anticipate at some point seeing a fairly modest correction. And I don't think, I don't think even in a correction, I don't think it's going to go back down to $2 or $3. It could just come back down, give people a chance to reaccumulate if they want to, basically, getting rid of some of the dumb money that might be entering in at the top, right? But again, I think Link will continue on its merry way so long as Bitcoin stays bullish. So if you're on the sideline sitting in, you could get in now. I mean, this is not financial advice. You could get in now, but personally, it's for me, it's way too risky at this level to be purchasing Link. Primarily because it's up so much in recent times. So maybe a correction will come, and it could present a timely opportunity for people to reassess their positions. They've seen what Link can do. The Link Marines are a formidable force that you really don't want to get on the wrong side of. So we're obviously going to continue following Link, especially as Bitcoin is above its 20-week. If you plot the Link valuation against Bitcoin, so this is more impressive, right? Because not only has Link been gaining against USD, but it's been gaining since Bitcoin, basically since inception. And you can see the general trend, right? You can see we're nearing the top part of the trend now. But since inception, Link has been gaining on Bitcoin. We kind of have these boom and bust cycles, but even during the bust cycle, it's still higher, right? It still trends higher. Each one is trending higher than the last. So it's just business as usual, right? I mean, this is par for the course for Link, and it's why I've always said I'll always hold Link. I'll hold Link, right, for the duration of the market cycle. At some point, it'll probably come time to just sell everything and wait for a market correction. But again, right now, I mean, it's just business as usual, and you can see that just as we said and as we speculated, right, we were going to go parabolic once Bitcoin got above its 20-week moving average, and that's exactly what has happened. It's just data science. It's nothing too fancy. I'm just communicating what the data says. And here's the regression, the logarithmic regression that I've shown before of Link prices. As I mentioned, this one is not nearly as useful as the one for Bitcoin and Ethereum that have both experienced a full market cycle. Obviously, Bitcoin has experienced 3 full market cycles. Ethereum has experienced 1. Because Link has not experienced a complete market cycle, the validity of this regression band is obviously called into question. But note that we made this regression band earlier, either in 2019 or very early 2020, and we did come straight up to this point and then correct back down, which was the same areas here. If you're curious, if we were to make it to the top of the band, which I'm not saying that we would, but if we did, it would correspond to about $30 per Link if we make it to the top of the band. So just some information. Here's an update on the running ROI, or the normalized ROI of days since inception. So we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Link, and you can see that Link it's really looking similar to Ethereum, and why it's interesting, right, is it's almost, it wouldn't take it too much more to start passing Ether on some of these price points at various times. But what's amazing to me, right, is that this was during a bear market, right? This was during a bear market. And it looks, you see these parabolic moves. We've had them before. And the speculation that I've had with Link, right, or with Ethereum, is that Ethereum, the potential, the volatility is essentially 1 market cycle behind Bitcoin, and Link is approximately 2 market cycles behind Bitcoin. In terms of Link, it could be say maybe like in this phase or something. But we'll obviously keep an eye on it and see how it continues to play out. It's certainly, as we've been saying for a long time now, it's certainly an asset that is worth having in a portfolio based on quantitative finance from that perspective. Here's the same chart, but with the days since inception on a log scale too. So you see a log scale. Just to give you a little bit more perspective, you can see how fast Link has been going up recently. So I just want to remind people, obviously be careful with what's going on. We're going to jump into TradingView as well. Before we do that, I want to remind you that if you want access to the premium list, go check out my website, intothecryptoverse.com. We follow a lot of coins there, Link being one of them. The primary four that we follow are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, and ADA, or Bella. And then we also follow a few others. We have risk metrics. So if you want to follow the Link risk metric on there, then go check it out. You'll get access to a Google Sheets risk dashboard that has the live risk levels based on historical data. The strategies dashboard, where you can type in different strategy, or you can play with different strategies for dynamically DCAing your cells. You also get access to a weekly premium report, a weekly premium video, a Google or a Telegram alerts channel, and a private Telegram chat room. So you get access to 6 different things. The prices will be going up soon. If you want to get grandfathered in at the lower price, you can go ahead and do that, and you'll be able to pay the lower price once they go up. They're not going to be any exceptions there. And if you want to pay for a longer period of time, you can pay with crypto, and even get a nice 15% discount if paying for 12 months. Some people are prefer to pay on other sites. So this is my website. This is where most people are signed up. But we do have a few people signed up over on Patreon. So if you want to check it out on Patreon, you can get access to the same stuff. It's just patreon.com/into-the-cryptoverse. So just quickly bringing up TradingView, I want to show people where Bitcoin is, because it's important to at least look at Bitcoin. Many of you might say, and I've seen it in the comments before, that it doesn't really matter what Bitcoin's doing, Link's paving its own course, but we just showed that it does perform a lot better when Bitcoin is above its 20-week. And you can argue all you want about whether that makes a difference, but the data says that it does. In my opinion, the data says that it does, and because the data says that it does, I would choose to listen to the data based on someone else's opinion. So if we look at the regression band and the 20-week moving average, with Bitcoin, you can see that Bitcoin is still well above its 20-week. Remember, and this is where we want to be. We want Bitcoin to be above its 20-week for Link to continue to theoretically perform well. And currently, it's still approximately 28% above its 20-week moving average. Now, again, we're in new territory. Link could obviously retrace, right? There's certainly a chance that you do see a retracement at some point. Even in these areas here, it showed a retracement before Bitcoin broke the 20-week, right? So it's possible that it'll happen. I don't want people to think that it can't happen just because it's above the 20-week. It could retrace, especially after such a parabolic move. So far, it's at least looking good for Bitcoin. And note that, remember, having Link in your portfolio, it helps to improve your covariance matrix when calculating your risk-adjusted returns, and because of that, it means that negative Bitcoin volatility is offset a lot of times by positive Link volatility. So if Bitcoin is not doing so well on a certain day, Link tends to do okay. But the reverse is also true. If Bitcoin's going up significantly, then Link is usually pulling back some. So these are just some observations. Here's the Link USD chart. You can see this most recent parabolic move. And here's the Link Bitcoin chart, right? You guys see it. It certainly is in bubble mode. There's no doubt about it, whether it being in bubble mode up here. The question, right, is just how high can it go? And again, that's anyone's guess. If you want to follow along, say with the strategy that I use, you can again check out the website. It essentially resorts back to dynamically DCAing your cells. So you start off maybe selling a small amount, and then you incrementally increase that as the price of Link goes up, so that at some point when it retraces, you've at least taken profits and then can reinvest those profits back into Link. And if the price just continues going up, then you can continue just taking profits along the way. Now, I get that there's a lot of people here that are just going to hold Link for 3 years, and you can completely do that. Obviously, there's no problem with that. You can ride the bubbles, ride them up and down, and then maybe sometime down the road you trade out at that point. And that's your own approach. What I tend to do is I tend to try to take advantage of short-term speculative bubbles, or bubbles whenever they occur. That includes things like seeing the 2019 Bitcoin bubble, right, where a lot of people thought we were going to keep going up, but in fact we retraced. So this is the idea. It basically makes it so that you won't see you might not realize as high of an ROI if Link were to go to say $30 in the short term, but it helps you offset some risk, right? And it's all about offsetting risk, in my opinion, and managing your position in a way that is smart, right? Setting stop losses, making sure that you protect yourself, right? I mean, if you were the smart money getting in at $1 or $2 and you see it go up to $20 or $30 or $40, then at least you probably want to take advantage of that, right? And just admit to yourself that it could keep going up, but at the same time you want to systematically take profits at certain points, just so that you can ensure that you have more money to to continue investing in the market, right? And it gives you more dry powder in case it does retrace. But again, that's my strategy. If you prefer more of the buy and hold approach, that's perfectly fine. You can still use the risk levels to try to figure out which coins to buy. I'm sure that'll elicit a lot of people saying, well, they only buy Link. That's fine too if you want to do that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. It's just my candid view on the market. We do have some more charts on Link that I show on the premium list that we just published in the alerts channel. Today we are doing the premium video and premium report, so if you want to get access to those, which you can always access the historical documents, but there will be an email going out later today with the new content. So please check it out. Remember, intothecryptoverse.com. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll obviously follow Link to see how high we can push it. Maybe it'll continue going higher. But remember, at some point, we will likely see a correction. It's just business as usual, right? I mean, you guys know the game at this point. That'll wrap it up. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.